Mike's part.
Don't do that.
It's Mike's part.
I know what it is. Don't do that.
So my core interpretation of what Inside Llewyn Davis is saying is the film becomes clearer on the rewatch. So this is why I'm making this video. It's less about randomness and more about a cycle of stagnation versus breakthrough. The loop structure, opening and ending with the same beating, where the man with the hat beats him in the alley, punches him in the nose, breaks his nose. It suggests being trapped in your own patterns, not fate. This isn't just it's not only just a struggling artist story and the story of an artist like kind of dying and quitting, dying metaphorically. It's about why some artists break through and others don't. So this interpretation I got on this watch through was good music versus bad music. The movie subtly critiques what good music actually is. Llewyn's Chicago audition, the song that he chose, I thought was weak as fuck. Like, I thought it was overly formal. It was try hard, emotionally disconnected. And then his other performances that they showed deliberately timed throughout the movie, like Hang Me, Oh Hang Me, they feel more raw, honest, and from the gut. And I just think that contrast in that suggests that authenticity is more important than the technical performance, and that's what the movie's saying. Like, those other songs are way better. If he would have done those songs with the Chicago audition, he might have had better feedback, at least, you know, in this lane that is a commercial lane. So ego versus opportunity. Llewyn Davis repeatedly sabotages himself because he can't he can't drop his ego. The dinner, the living room scene, it's a key scene because he's offered connection, warmth, opportunity as soon as he walks in, but he rejects it because he feels beneath his artistic purity when she starts singing along with him, and kind of they are showing him off like he's like, you know, a sideshow. If he played, although they are nice, but they're still doing that, so he can't drop that. If he played along socially, even if it felt fake, he likely would have gained access and success. At least in that situation, there's like a bunch of connections in that room that he could have had a connection with, you know, because he does lean on people and he needs connections. So it's not, is not selling out actually self-sabotage in disguise? That's one of the questions that's interesting about this movie. Capitalism versus art. Multiple characters represent different forms of capitalist pressure. The Chicago executive, he doesn't see money in this. The club owner, you got to pay the bills. Roland Turner, intimidating, he's controlling, he's dominant. His presence is felt dominant. The system doesn't reward struggle, purity, or grief. It rewards market fit, timing, adaptability, and how much capitulation do you want to do to get by. Llewyn is like also interesting in a way where he's a precursor artist. He's not talentless. He's just too early and too rigid. The final scene with Bob Dylan signals folk music is about to explode. There is money and opportunity coming. So it's like a reframe. So many watch throughs, I only took it as like a depressing ending. You know, like not a happy note for him, for Llewyn. But if you look at it as through the perspective that he's the prototype that didn't survive long enough to benefit, or he's the prototype that just started this whole folk music rebirth. So death, rebirth, and the loop. His partner's suicide, it hangs over the entire film, represents the death of the creative identity. The Chicago exec saying, "Get it together," or "Get back together," can be read as very cruel irony, or symbolic. Your path, you know, is already dead, ending. Well, the interpretation is the loop isn't punishment. its reset point. Your optimistic read could be that Llewyn finally kills his ego at the end, meaning he may break the cycle next time. The cat is also a symbolism, a lack of control, responsibility he can't manage, a life constantly slipping out of his hands. His inability to handle the cat mirrors his inability to handle opportunity, relationships, and timing. The Johnny Five Roland thread. Johnny Five represents raw, messy expressions. Roland represents suppression, control, dominance. The interruption, arrest moment shows art is often cut off before it can fully form. It's not that Llewyn Davis isn't talented. It's not that the system is fully against him. It's that he lacks adaptability. He rejects social compromise. He clings to the rigid ideas of real art. And, talent plus timing plus humility equals breakthrough is one interpretation of what the film rewards. Llewyn only has 1 to 2 of those at any given moment. So most people read the ending as he missed his shot, Bob Dylan is the future. But my interpretation is the market is about to open, Llewyn is right there. The only thing left is whether he will evolve. And I think he will, based on the course of the movie. 9.8 out of 10.